So I'm going to share my screen now. Evaluating fit. Evaluating fit. We discussed, we learned a lot of terms that is related to fit or elements of fit. We know what are the elements of fit, right? We know what are the elements of fit. So Raina, can you tell me what all are they? What all are the elements of fit? We discussed in the last two classes, I guess. What all are the elements of it? I can't hear you, Reina. Try removing your earphone.
Ma'am, grid.
Yeah, grid, grain.
Yeah, sorry, grain.
Grain, yes.
Grain, ease,
Yes, ease,
balance,
balance, set.
set.
Okay, all these are the elements of fit, right? So what is mean by evaluating fit? What does mean by evaluating fit? How can we evaluate fit? Any idea? How can we evaluate fit? Why is it necessary? Why should we evaluate fit? Why is it necessary? We have been discussing the same in the last few classes. Even though we didn't discuss it as the specific topic, we have been discussing the same in the last few classes. From the beginning of Unit 2, we have been discussing this specific. We have been discussing about it. Why is it necessary to evaluate fit? Any idea? Any idea?
To get the perfect clothing appearance.
Sorry, Meghna. Can you repeat it again?
For the perfect clothing appearance.
For the perfect clothing appearance, yes. So suppose for example, you bought a particular garment, maybe a kurti or a tunic from an online website, online shopping site called A. You bought a kurti or a tunic from an online shopping site called A. So you were having confusions regarding your measurements. You don't have a tape with you right now to take your measurements and all, so that you can go with the exact size. So there is small there, medium is available, large is there, XL is there. So usually you go with medium. Usually you go with medium. Suppose usually you go with medium. Medium is not too tight, not too loose. It just fit perfectly over your body. So you don't know whether you should. So medium is not available right now. Medium is out of stock. So you don't know whether you should go with small size or whether you should go with large size. Okay. So medium is perfect for you. But you don't know whether small size will be too small or too tight for you, or whether large will be too large for you. Sometimes large can also be just perfect, right? Okay. So you don't know to go with which size you should choose. And at last, you decided that if small is too small, then I can't do anything. I will just have to return it, and I will be forced to choose another size, or maybe they will refund the amount. So you decide to go with large. So if the size is bigger, you can just alter it and make it small, right? Am I right? If you go with large, but large can also, if you are having a large body type, then large can also fit you, right? But small will not fit you. Small will be too small. Hmm? Am I right? So a medium person can either go with small or large. And it also depends upon what kind of garments we would like to wear. Do we go with comfort, or we want that body fitter type or not? So do you decided to go with large, thinking that if you go with large and if it is too big for you, you can just alter it by thinking that you go in that way. Okay. And when the order came, it was too big. Hmm? When the kurti came, it was too big for you. So you decided to get it altered. So you took the tunic with you and you went to a tailor and you asked him or her to alter it for you into your right shape. Okay. So you know what is dart, right? Mostly these tailors used to call it tuck. Hmm? They used to say like, yes, we can just put a tuck over there. It will solve all the problems. So usually these tailors used to say it as tuck, but tuck is different. Hmm? So yes, putting a dart will solve this problem. It can alter you. It can alter the kurti, and we can just make it to your size. Hmm? So what will happen? So while doing that, the tailor just put a dart on front side, on the front pattern only. So while putting the dart, they are just taking this much fabric, right? And they are shaping it. So what will happen? What will happen? They are taking all the excess fabric in the front. This kurti is too long, too large for me. The same happened with me also. Okay, uh, so the tailor is taking a tuck in the front, taking all the excess fabric to the front and decided to give a tuck in the front or in the back. Hmm? He or she decided to do that. So what will happen if he or she just put two tucks in the front pattern or in the back pattern only? What will happen? The side seam will move. If they are giving two tucks in the front side, the side seam will move to the front. There is the side seam, right? Side seam, side seam. There will be a stitch in your side. Just check on your garment. There will be a side stitch. There will be a stitch on the side. Am I right? So try to pull your t-shirt to front, or try to pull your shirt to front. Try pulling it to front. The side seam will move to front, right? The side seam will move. So what happen if you pull it backward? What will happen? It will move back. Am I right? So the proportion or the position is changed. It was supposed to be in the side, but now the position of the side seam is changed. Right? So if you are giving a dart or tuck, whatever it is, if you are giving it in the front, you should give it in the back also. Instead of taking a whole bunch of fabric and giving a dart in the front or back, you should divide it equally and you should give dart in the front pattern and in the back pattern. Okay. Yes. Sorry. So evaluating fit. How can we say that this garment is perfect? How can we say that? How can we say that? So the fitting should start from the top and move downwards. The analysis of fit is a complex process and remains a challenge for both industry and customers. So how? From top to bottom, a garment or a piece of garment will be evaluated from top to bottom, from the top part to bottom part of that particular garment. So what all things comes in the top part? What all elements should be evaluated in the top region? While evaluating fit, what all things should we evaluate in the top region? So if it is just a crop top or a blouse, then also it will be having top region and bottom region, right? So what all things will be evaluated in the top region?
Shoulder.
Shoulder line will be evaluated. Okay. So if it is perfect fit for you, or if it is a perfect, if the garment is perfect, then the shoulder will end perfectly at the shoulder tip. It will not come towards your arm. Okay, it will not fall into your arm. It will just reach perfectly till your shoulder tip. Okay. And sometimes the neck will be too wide, or the size will be too large, or because of some manufacturing defects or something, because of not evaluating fit properly, the neck will be too wide and it will continuously fall to your arms, out of your shoulders. Have you ever noticed? Okay, sometimes the banian or the t-shirt will get too stretchy and it will go out of it. Okay, so the first top region you will be evaluating shoulder, whether the shoulder line is perfect, whether it is perfectly reaching till the tip, shoulder tip, or whether it is falling out. Okay, all these things will be evaluated. Neck line will be evaluated, whether it is too wide, too short. Your head should pass through it, right? If you are putting it on a dress form, if you are evaluating, or if you are draping, if you are test fitting, whatever you are doing, you will be doing it on a dress form, right? As a designer will be doing that on a dress form. Test fitting, draping, and everything will be done on a dress form. Different dress forms of different size is available in the market. So US 8 sizes there, 6 sizes there, 10 sizes there, 12 sizes there, 14 sizes there. Like that, different sizes are available. So based on that, if you want medium, you will be testing it on a medium sized dress form. So you will be doing all these process over a dress form. So in the case of dress form, we can just shrink the arm region. We can just press it and let the dress form wear it. We can make it wear it. And in the case of a dress form, there is no head for it. There is only neck region. Okay. So the things that might get easily fit on to a dress form might not fit on you. Why? Why is it possible? Because it is not having a huge head like yours. We are having a head, right, which is larger than our neck. So if the dress form just manage to wear that particular piece easily, it's just because it is not having a head. So you should always take care of the head so that there will be no trouble or difficulty in wearing that particular top over your head. Okay. So while making dress, while designing children's wear, while stitching children's wear, we will take care of these things. Like it is very difficult for to make these children, these infants wear dresses, right? They can't stand still. We should hold them with our one hand and we should make them wear this dress. And their head is not strong. Um, so it will be like wiggling. So we should take care of all these factors while dressing an infant. So there will be press buttons on both the shoulders or on one shoulder so that we can easily make them wear that particular dress, or there will be opening in the front. Press button opening or zipper openings in the front. Okay, just like that, when we are designing dress for adults, we should make sure that the neck is wide enough for our head to pass through it, so that we can easily put the garment through our head. Okay. And if it is like high neck or close neck kind of garment, then we should put an opening in the back or in the front. There will be buttons in the front, or there should be zipper in the back. Or just like how we design garments for infants, we can also put a press button on the shoulders. It will not be evident. There are ways to hide these press buttons. Okay. And sometimes you will also get to see the zippers on the side. When it comes to designer wears or ethnic wears, party wear type of garments, zippers will be on the side seam. Okay. But it will not solve this neckline problem. So for the neckline, neck depth is too short, then you should give some openings in either in the front, in the shoulder, or in the back. Okay. Fit. So neckline, shoulder. What about armhole? Again, you should check, right? Armhole, there should be ease in the armhole region. Otherwise, you will not be able to move your hand freely. Even there will be difficulty in this region. There will be like too much stiffness in the chest region if the armhole depth or armhole around is not accurate or perfect. If you forget to leave that 1 inch or that 1 finger thumb distance that I mentioned while doing the draping activity, I mentioned to leave 1 thumb distance, right? Under the armhole, you should leave 1 thumb distance or just 1 inch while taking the measurement. So why should we leave that 1 inch or 1 thumb distance while taking measurements? Because there will be no restrictions. Because the garment shouldn't restrict our body movement. So that is the reason. So armhole. Armhole should have perfect easiness. What about side seam? We already know about side seam, right? Yes, okay, side seam we know. What about hem region? Hem region, everything is okay now. Shoulder is perfect, neck is perfect, everything is perfect. But what if the person is having a large waist and that particular top or tunic is not fitting his or her waist region? So it's not a perfect fit, right? Okay. Okay, so now we know the chest region. What about chest? Once we talked about Salman Khan's shirt, right? So chest around is very important. Why? My size, suppose my size is 42, my shirt size is 42. What will happen if I wear a 40 sized slim fit size? So 42 slim fit is perfect. Suppose 42 slim fit size is perfect for me. What if I wear a 40 slim fit size shirt? Regular fit, classic fit, or slim fit size are available when it comes to men's shirt. Okay, fit, based on fit. So what if I bought just because I liked a design, a particular design or pattern, I decided to bought 40 slim fit. What will happen? It will be too tight for me. Hmm? It will be too tight. Okay, it will be too tight so that my button or this button region will stretch and there will be holes in between. You can see through these in between the button spaces because it's too small for me. It's too small for me. Even if it is 40 regular fit, it will not be like that. It's because it's 40 slim fit. It will be too tight for me. Okay. So what will happen if the shirt is too tight? This will stretch to there will be button plackets in the front. In the case of a shirt, there will be button plackets in the front and this side seam will pull the shirt or the front patterns towards it so that it will stretch and leaves a gap in the front in between. The buttons will find it difficult to hold on, right? Because it's too small. So button or chest measurement of chest or bust region is very important. Neckline, we already discussed about neckline. Collar. The most important factor in the fit of the collar is the neck circumference. The circumference of the collar should be at least 1/4 of an inch bigger than that of the neckline or just large enough for one to insert 2 fingers in between the neck and collar. So how can we check whether the collar is perfect? How can we check that? So we have this neckline. We know neckline should be large enough to accommodate so that we can pass our head through the neckline, right? We should be able to wear it over our head. Okay, so the neckline should be large enough for that. So what about collar? Collar. So how can we check whether the collar is perfect fit or not? It should be 1/4 inch larger, at least 1/4 inch larger than neckline, or we can just measure. There will be this back portion, right? Back region, collar, back side will be there. So you should be able to insert 2 fingers in between your collar and your neckline and your neck. So you should be able to insert 2 fingers. It should leave that much gap in between. Okay, it should leave that much ease in between. Okay, so that is how we check fit of collar. Okay. Armhole, we know. Sleeves. How can we check sleeves? Fitness, a perfect fit of sleeves.
Circumference of arm.
Yes, circumference of the arm. It shouldn't be too tight, right? If the sleeve is too tight, then it will fold upwards. Am I right? It will fold upwards. So while buying a garment, you should understand your body type. You should understand your body type. How some people will be having too large, comparatively compared to their body, their arms will be too thick. So they should buy something that can accommodate their arms, right? They can alter the body part, but they should buy something that can accommodate their arms. Okay. So if I take me as my as an example, if I take me as an example, then the case is that my knee region, my elbow region, this region, it's too wide. It's too wide comparative to other parts of my hand. It is too wide. It's too wide. So that I can't wear this normally bought, the ready to wear 3/4 or full sleeve dresses. I always avoid these 3/4 and full sleeve dresses because of that particular reason. Even if I get it tailored also, they will just take this, the normal measurements and they will just stitch it like that only. Because of which I will find it too tight. Everything else will be fine. The fit in every other region will be fine, but this region I will find it really difficult. I always find it really difficult. So I never wear some 3/4 or full sleeve dresses. I always avoid like that normal 3/4, normal full sleeve dresses because of that reason. So you should understand your body type, how you are structured, what kind of figure you are having. And after understanding each and every side of your body, you should buy something for you, right? So the manufacturer cannot, it is not possible for them to roam around and check each of us body type. It's not possible to check Meghna's body type and Malavika's, Raina's, everyone's body type. It is not possible to do that, right? As a manufacturer, they will take a particular age group or a market as a whole. They will conduct a study, and based on the majority, they will be designing garments, right? So it is not possible to understand each and every one of you and then design based on that. So crotch and seat. Crotch or seat. We discussed before, right? Crotch. Why is it necessary to take crotch depth or seat? Why is it necessary to take crotch measurements? Why is it necessary to take crotch measurements? So that if you are wearing a pant, if you are wearing a jeans or a formal pant, you can wear it comfortably. You can wear it comfortably without feeling embarrassed. That is the main reason. Without feeling embarrassed, you can just comfortably wear the trousers, shorts, pants, formals, jeans, whatever it is. You can just comfortably wear it. Sometimes, after wearing a trouser or a jeans, if you just kneel down, the waist region will go down. I have seen this happen to many. When I was doing my master's, I had seen it. So if we are sitting in the back, the front person will be on full show. Okay, some just don't care about it. It's like it's not happening to them. Okay, so in order to avoid all these blunders and embarrassing situations, we should make sure that the garment is having a perfect seat or crotch depth, crotch measurement. Okay. Even if we are designing pants or bottoms for our salwar kameez, okay, there used to be this chudi bottom pants, right? Chudi bottom pants, too tight in the bottom region and wide in the up top region, right? Chudi bottom pants, it will shrink and leave like that, lie like that, right? So many of these chudi bottom pants, this crotch depth measurements or calculation of this crotch depth was inaccurate, and it always used to tear. The first wearing itself, first trial itself, it used to just go like that, right? Even if it is just a cigarette pants, if the crotch depth is not, I haven't experienced it yet, but if the crotch depth is not correct, then the same will happen to that pants also. So always the crotch depth should be calculated or measured properly so that we can wear this pants, trousers, shorts, whatever it is, comfortably. Okay, so let me ask you one question. Let me ask you one question. Suppose person A, person A, consider person A is having a pear body shape. Okay, pear. 1 minute. Person A is having pear body type. Okay, pear body silhouette. So what is the speciality of pear body type? What is the speciality of pear body type? Body silhouette.
The
They show, yes?
chest area will be smaller and waist and hip will be wider.
Yes, chest area will be smaller and waist area or hip region will be hip area, not waist, hip area. Okay, hip area will be wider. Okay, I hope you can see the screen. Okay, so it will be like a pear. Okay, pear body shape, pear body silhouette. So the chest region will be small and hip region will be wider. Okay. It goes same with the inverted triangle. Not inverted, triangular body shape. So what about hourglass? In the case of hourglass, the measurement of chest region or bust region will be equal to or approximately same, will be same. Measurement of chest region and hip region will be approximately same. So suppose person A is having pear body silhouette. Okay, pear body silhouette. As you can see, smaller waist and larger hip. Okay, larger hip. Person is having smaller waist and larger hip. Okay. So if the waist measurement is 28 or 30. Suppose waist measurement is 28 or 30. But his or her hip is larger than their waist. So which size should we buy? Whether we should go with 30 size, that is perfect fit based on our waist measurement, or should we buy a larger size? It goes with the hourglass silhouette also. Waist can be too small and the hip region will be too wide. So what should we do in those situations? What will you do in that kind of situation? Sana, I can't hear you.
Will shape the bus area.
Sorry, Sana? I couldn't hear you, that's it.
Ma'am will
Yes.
can you hear me?
There is no right answer and wrong answer, okay?
Can you hear?
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
So since the uh, like bus area will be long, like it will be loose, right?
No, we are talking about trousers. So when the waist is too small and hip region is too wide, and your waist is 30, waist measurement is 30, size is 30, but your hip is too large. Okay, what will you do in such a situation? Will you go with the 30 size denim jeans or pants, or will you go for a larger size? That is the question, Sana.
Uh, larger, 30 size.
30 size or 32, 34 size? It's okay. There is no right and wrong
32.
answer. It completely depended on you. Okay. There is no right and wrong answer in such questions. Okay. Yes. Okay. So what will be your
30.
30?
Ma'am, oh, 32.
32. Okay. 32. So she went with 32. So she will prefer to wear a belt to make it tight, right? To make the waist area tight. And she will go with comfort so that she can accommodate a hip region comfortably inside those denim. Okay. So otherwise, instead of going with a skinny fit jeans, she can just choose a straight fit. She can go with a straight fit or a boyfriend fit jeans, which is comparatively having much more ease than the other skin fit jeans or straight fit jeans. Baggy pants or palazzo pants will be having more space, right? More space to accommodate your larger body parts. Am I right? So it will not even make you look, fat, or make it look like you are having a wider hip. It will just fall straight. Am I right? So if you pair it with a crop top, then it will look good. So that's why I was telling there is no right and wrong answer in it. It's completely up to you what you would like to wear. Maybe you will just go with the 30 size so that there will be no uncomfortability in your waist region. If you go with a larger size, it might fall down, right? It might fall down. So denim is a stretchy fabric, so you will just go with the 30 size. So if you are someone who likes to wear it in that way, denim is a stretchy fabric, and sometimes you will go with larger size so that you can comfortably wear it, right? Comfortably accommodate your larger hip, or sometimes instead of going with these straight fits or skinny fit jeans, you will just prefer to wear other fits. right? Other fit that will completely complement your body type, like straight fit, palazzo type denims, flared or bell bottom types, or baggy jeans. So everything is trending right now. So you will just will decide to try all these out. Okay, so there is no right and wrong answer in these kind of questions. Okay, so thank you all. Let's meet in the next class. Okay, bye bye.